Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Camila aka CamiSimming and welcome to this new speed build. This one is a rather special one, of course, as always lately, but this time is because I'm back with another shell challenge and it's been a very long time since the last one that I did, some months at least, and it's odd because I like shell challenges and I always like to try them out. But I don't know why I stopped but now I'm back again. So yeah, what a fun intro this was. We're doing Little Simsy Shell Challenge, like the December one. So, and I'm turning it into the like Christmas factory of Santa Claus or Father Winter if we're speaking in Sims terms, and yeah, I had a ton of fun doing it, and you'll see that I went all out with details, with decorations, and basically it took me ages because also I went back and forth from winter time and snowy season to this wonderful summery weather to see everything like more clearly, so like the details and the landscaping and the terrain paint. So you'll see that it was a long process. Of course the shell was already there because it's a shell challenge, duh. And and so that part was the easy one, but then I had to decorate it and I placed it on a 64x64 in Windenburg, and I don't tend to build on 64x64s a lot. So it was a very hard challenge. Not hard, like very long, because it wasn't hard. I had a ton of fun doing it. And since it was my challenge, I could just like choose a smaller lot. But I wanted to add a lot of things, a lot of landscaping, and a lot of other fun details to the shell to make this Christmas factory thing believable and like as realistic as it possibly can be when you're talking about a Christmas factory. But of course, Santa Claus exists, so we're not talking about this kind of realism. By the way, yeah, the main building, so Leo Sims' actual shell, will be the factory on the ground floor, and on the second floor we will have Santa Claus's so let's call him Frost, Clement Frost's apartment, a very tiny apartment, but it has everything you may possibly want. And then I created a little shed there on the back of the building, and that's gonna be a sauna because I asked my kind of boyfriend, like my special friend, I asked him like what would he expect from a Santa Claus factory, like present wrapping factory, and he said, well, a sauna, because Santa Claus is like in Lapland, so it has to be a sauna there. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. And so I built a sauna. And then the other little shed here on the front of the build is gonna be a shed like for the reindeers. So the home for the reindeers that at the moment are not there, and not because we don't have reindeers in The Sims, not at all, but because they are getting ready to fly. And yeah. And almost at the end of the building like this huge thing, I thought, well, but where are the elves gonna make their break, like the lunch break, and where are they gonna eat? And so I created a cafeteria on the back of the shed, like a full-on cafeteria with a long bar where you can like go there, take your meal, and then sit. And then like I had this fun idea because I found that like graffiti of a kind of gnome, I think. I figured that maybe the elves, are not so pleased with how Father Winter treats them, because yeah, they almost didn't have a cafeteria to eat. So yeah, and so I invented this story in my head, like with all the elves that are protesting against Father Father Winter work policy, and they're trying to get help from the local like administration. And yeah, so you'll see at the end. I won't spoil anything, but like be sure to be there for the screenshots, and in particular for the end of them, because there's a very nice campaign that I created for these elves, and I'd like you to see that and to participate if you want. Yeah, and I'm sorry, but my creativity and my imagination sometimes, like, I don't know, explodes, and I have to create these dumb things. And so here's an example of them. But here I'm creating the actual factory. So it's a little room here with a, I don't know how to call it. I know I studied it in high school because I did have history in English classes, but I can't remember that word. Okay, wait a second. Okay, it's a conveyor line, or a sort of assembly line, like conveyor belt, I think. I just looked it up and I almost, like, I already forgot about it. I'm sorry. And yeah, it's basically this line, this thing on which the elves build the toys. And you'll see later that we will have also some side tables on which other elves do other stuff. We also have a woodworking bench for them to craft stuff. But you will see that in the center there, where the actual conveyor belt is, we will have some like plates, very huge plates, on which things are being assembled. Like there is one of those octopuses from Nifty Knitting, the purple one that's been assembled and that's being assembled. And then we'll have a couple of dolls that are being assembled, and also those little like sand buckets and stuff from Island Living are being assembled, and also some cubes, the one for the toddlers. And this was all thanks to debug, that gives us a ton of like useless crap. I'm sorry, but it's true. It's almost useless, but I found the use for it. So I like also for those little doll heads that you see sometimes in the debug catalog, and also the single cubes from like base game, the ones that normally are in groups of 3 and you can buy from the regular catalog for your kids. And yeah, and the buckets, I used another bucket from the debug catalog, which is like a normal steel bucket, and you'll see it like there on the floor right now. And I acted as if they are like painting it and trying to make it red as the ones on display. And also the dolls, you see the heads, and then I found the actual like entire doll and I placed it there. And also I placed 8 little yarn balls like for the octopus, and then a bigger one there for the head. And I don't know, I was very surprised with my own like creativity and with my own like super huge flow of ideas. Honestly, just that. I was so inspired, and I don't know, I'm very happy about it, because since I'm quarantined and at home, and if you don't know it yet, I said that in my last video, I think, that I got COVID, and so I'm stuck in my bedroom, at least until Thursday, because on Thursday I will have a swab to do. That's gonna tell me if I have to stay at home again, or if I can go crazy and go to my living room, I suppose. But yeah, so I've got a lot of free time, and at the same time creativity struck, and that's a very fortunate series of events right there. And you'll see that I like placed some stuff upstairs because I didn't want to forget about some of the debug items that could be useful for the apartment. And then I briefly like finished the workspace area, but you see that I will come back to it like a ton of other times, because I found, oh, this random object there could be so good there, and so I placed it there, and then I went back to what I was doing, and that's my life basically, being distracted all time, like every single second. And this doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'm sorry. This is the... No, it's not. Okay, but yeah. I also decorated the entryway anyway. I don't know when it will be, but it will happen, okay. With just a sofa, some plants, that red, like, maple thing, and this rug. And I used a little tool mod, and I'm so happy because I'm getting like the hang of it, and so I'm getting better and better at using it. And also another thing, you can find 10 yellow rubber ducks hidden on the slot. Like, they're not in the landscaping, so they're not like, they're visible, they're not actually hidden, but it's a huge lot. So, and also another little detail that I added and that I liked a ton, I think it's very cute, and I like, took me a rather long time to get, so please appreciate the effort, is the fact that I brought a sim here, of course, because I used the tool mod, so you have to be in live mode. And also I moved Clement Frost in, and also Bella Goth, because it was the first family that I had on my catalog. So, and basically I took a picture of the two, so my sim and then Clement Frost together, and the sim I like changed him in cast. I gave him like an overalls, and it was very colorful, so it looked like a sort of like how do you say it, uniform, like work uniform. And so he was the employee of the month, and I took a picture of him, and then I hanged it up on, like, in the factory area, along with a frame that we got from Snow Escape that's actually like an award for the employee of the month. And I thought it was like the most brilliant idea I had for this whole build. I don't know why, but it gave me so much satisfaction. I can't even really tell why, but it just like stuck. Like, I thought about it and I thought, yeah, I have to do this. And so I jumped like in manage world to manage worlds, and then I created all this useless stuff that probably won't even matter, but it mattered to me at the time. And for other time, I mean this morning. And so yeah, but you saw that I started placing one of those gnomes graffiti, and that what sparked the whole idea of the elves being like not so pleased with Father Winter and his management. So yeah, I don't know, I think I was very clever, and I'm sorry if I keep on tooting my own horn. If it's your first time here I'm sorry, if it's your first time here, it's not like the usual stuff that happens. I'm not very like, most of the time I actually hate what I built, so don't worry, I'm not so full of myself as it may seem. But this time I think I actually did a decent work, a nice work, and I'm very happy. And I hope that maybe Kayla will see it, or I don't know if I have to hope that she sees it, because I know that she has a ton of people following her. So if she tours the shell challenges, I don't know if like the chances of her touring my build are not so high, since she has like 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And so yeah, but like when I say I hope she does, like I hope, but I'm not here just waiting for her to notice my build. It would just be nice, you know. And so if you want to support my build, maybe like give it a heart like a sort of like on the gallery. I'm CamiSimming there. If you liked this work, consider leaving it like a like or a nice comment, so maybe she sees it. I don't actually know how the gallery works, so this may be actually not the best way to do this, but yeah. Anyway, I'm getting like distracted. This is the pond, as you probably like guessed already, and I just decorated it with a lot of green stuff. I kept the flowers to a minimum, and I think it was a great idea because we are kind of in the mountains. I put down some flowers here and there, but not something too crazy. And also, then I remembered about the cute tree from Get Together, the one with the flowers from Debug, and also the like shiny one from the holiday update. That white tree with all the fairy lights. It's not a shiny tree. I'm sorry. It's not a shiny tree. It's just a tree with fairy lights on. But yeah, I placed down a bunch of them. And also my computer, like monitor turned off. I don't know where I was. Okay, I hope everything is fine. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, I hope that my voice is not too weird. I know it is, but yeah, I can't do anything about it. And this is like the... okay, I looked this word up, so I have to remember it. It's like the pad, the launching pad for Frost's sled. I remembered launching pad and I can't pronounce sled. Slitta. I will say it in Italian then. So this is Father's Winter Slitta, and so I filled it with presents and I used some things from Spa Day to frame it and make it look a little bit more like nice. And I used some of these lights from Eco Lifestyle because I remembered like Miss Griffey, she did a school bus and she converted it into a tiny house, I guess, and she used those things to like for the lights, and I thought it was a brilliant idea, and I wouldn't have thought that I would use her idea in a build, but here I am. And here you can see I used some tool mod, and so I wasn't like crazy when I left those bushes there. I was just waiting for like myself to finish some stuff and then go back to live mode and do all the tool magic that I needed to do with the barn doors and those chimneys that you saw me lowering a bit. And here I am creating an arrow because who knows, maybe Father Winter doesn't know where he has to go, like where he has to tell his reindeers to go. So I drew an arrow with some lights. And I used those lights and not the Spa Day things because you can see them. I don't think you can see them with the snow. So I used some lights. I didn't want Father Winter to get lost. So yeah, I'm this kind, I know. Here I am placing some fairy things from Remo Magic, and as well as some crystals in the water and some Christmas decorations basically everywhere. I used wreaths everywhere, like on every single door of this build. I put on like a wreath, a Christmas themed wreath, of course. And now I'm like filling the hills with these bubbly bushes. And probably that's the worst description ever for such bushes, but yeah, you see what I'm doing here. And it was a very long process. I sped it up by 11 times and I cut a ton of it out, and it's still like it's lasting a ton of time. And here I'm placing some trees. I also put down a couple of those from movie hangout stuff with the lanterns, which I thought was a very nice addition, like a bit more subtle than the other trees. And I also placed down some like presents that probably fell off the sled, the slitta, when Father Winter took off. So yeah, that's sad. Some kids didn't get their presents on Christmas. But okay. And here I very quickly placed the employee of the month picture, and I'm decorating a little bit more the sauna because the sauna was a little bit bare. I also added like a shower so that you can take one before getting into the sauna. And of course the sauna is not for the elves, it's just for Clement Frost and his friends, because the elves are underpaid, are taken care of, and so he doesn't care about them. He only cares about himself and his like the people that finance his thing. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if I could explain it in Italian either. So, and I also put that kind of alarm red light that maybe lights like goes crazy when it's like almost midnight and Father Christmas has to go. I don't know. And of course also some toys around just because, and some rugs and some decorations and some I placed down some benches and also those little like snowmen that are actually lights, but I thought they were so cute, so I used some of them, like a ton of them. And outside of the sauna I used that summery Father Winter because I thought it would make sense. I want to use like every single Christmas item that we had in the game, so I had to use that as well, and that was like the most like the best place to have him, and I think it was very fun. And this is the cafeteria for the little elves, that when they manage to go on a break, like if Father Winter allows it, they can come here and grab a cup of coffee and sit on the tables and eat something, I guess. And I also placed down, like, I don't know if I show it on camera, probably I don't. I also added some of those benches from Snowy Escape, the ones with the fur on top of the seatings, like on the exterior, so that there's a couple more seats. And like I'm saying this if actual elves are gonna come here to eat their lunch, but okay. And I also filled the walls with a ton of stuff and decorations randomly placed. Some of them have to do something with bars and cafes and some don't, but I think it's fine. And yeah, some other decorations and some more decorations and some tropical fruit, because I always have to place something down that doesn't make sense, and that tropical fruit bowl was the perfect item that I could place there. And more landscaping, more rocks, more stuff, and yeah, I think that I'm gonna go now because it's almost done. I'm just adding the last few touches and then that's it. So I hope that you enjoyed this fun video that I have for you guys, and remember to stay here for the screenshots and especially for the end of them if you want to participate in the campaign to save these poor elves from like sfruttamento. How do you say it? Like exploitation, exploitment, exploitation. I don't know. Okay, if you liked this video, remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you all in my next video and have an amazing day. Bye everybody.